Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, January 27th, 2021. Of course, today was New Comic Book Day, which means right now it's time for the new comic book video. Not a real big week for books, but there were a couple of really nice titles that were selling really well. So we're going to jump right into that. And then I have some vintage books I'm going to show you at the end of this video, but the video isn't going to be very long. I think it's going to be a fairly quick video. So let's jump right into the books, shall we? From the Future State Dark Detective number 2. I picked this one up. I enjoyed the first story from Dark Detective. Not enjoying the Batman a whole lot, but I am enjoying Dark Detective, so I'm going to give this one a second chance. Again, Dark Detective's been selling, really well, but the price points, like we talked about last week on the video, just not there. So like I stated, I might pick one or two of the Batman books up. That's one of the ones I'm going to pick up until the story kind of pushes me away. Next up, Wolverine number 9. This has a good storyline I heard about the first mention of a group of people that sell superhero, equipment. Obviously, a Wolverine fist right there. So we'll see how that goes. I enjoy the Wolverine character. The storylines are pretty much hit and miss, but we'll see about this here. I am looking forward to that storyline. Black Cat number 2 from Marvel. The Dark Detective was the only DC book I bought because, like I stated, I really don't want to pay the price points on it, but I will buy, Batman books, and that's what I did right there. One of the books that was selling really well, Daredevil number 26. This is cover B. Elektra on the cover right there. And the A cover, selling really well. This has been a really good storyline right here with Elektra taking over as Daredevil while, Matt Murdock is in prison. So there is that right there. Really nice cover there. Selling really well. A lot of places sold out because a lot of people, they didn't buy a lot of copies of the Daredevil. And I was talking to, another customer today at one of the shops, and we were talking about, Daredevil's a really good storyline, and you can find a lot of the vintage books at a really affordable price and high grade. And I'm talking, from the 60s, early 70s. Daredevil just doesn't get the love I think it deserves, even with the television series that Netflix did, which I really liked. I just thought it needed to be a little bit more on that. So there was that. I think it was Netflix who did the Daredevil series. One of the books that was selling really big from Marvel, Star Wars The High Republic, second print number 1. This is already selling in the $20 price range. And there is also a Star Wars Adventures High Republic that is coming out number 1 either next week or the week after. And that's going to sell really well, but I don't know how many of those copies were actually purchased by shops. We will see. Independence now, of course, my favorite is the Independence. Spawn number 314. There were a few covers of this book. This is the only cover I picked up. Department of Truth number 5. Again, a couple of covers on this one. This was the only cover I picked up. Again, this has been a really good storyline. So Image did a really nice job with this one, and people have there's a lot of buzz on this. It's going to be a TV show, so pick up some of the earlier copies if you can find it before they start going up. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Red Mother number 12, which was the last issue in the storyline, and I couldn't find a good copy. It was an all red cover. There was a lot of damage on the spines, but I was able to find a copy today in really nice condition, so I grabbed one of those. Because like I stated, if you have a last copy in a print run of a storyline, pick it up because it's usually lower printed than the other copies. So I did pick up a Red Mother number 12. From Scout Comics, a vampire storyline, Stake number 1. I am looking forward to reading this one here. Cover purchase only from Source Point, Damned Cursed Children. And of course, if you know the movie The Shining, you know what that is a homage of right there. So I saw this on the shelf, was all over it. Really nice looking cover right there. And of course, the last book I picked up today, Boom Studios, hottest title out there right now, Something is Killing the Children, number 14. There's that right there. The storyline has been great from book 1 all the way till now. Very excited to read this one here. Again, Something is Killing the Children, number 14. And that is pretty much what I picked up as it relates to new books. Now, I got a lot of response from my last video, and they liked a lot of things that I said about Future State, and I've been seeing a lot of videos online since then of people talking about Future State, DC, the fact that there is a huge price point discrepancy and how, you know, DC is throwing other storylines. If I'm not mistaken, The Dark Detective has a Red Hood storyline at the end of it, because the thought process is they're going to make the books thicker, charge $7.99, $9.99 for these books, and then have your main story if it's a Batman storyline, and then at the back of the book have a, you know, 8 to 10 page mini story of another character. I don't like that idea. I think that's going to hurt DC in the long run. But like we stated, once DC was purchased by AT&T, you know, story quality went out the window, and it was all about bottom line price point. And people now are starting to see that. More and more people are now starting to see that. They don't care about how their books are coming to people, because a lot of that future state is really hard to find in high grade condition because of the quality of paper, which is very cheap, that they are using. Also, I got a lot of good positive feedback on the video I did as relates to halfback boards, Golden Age boards, and the type of Mylar I use when I do my books. And so I thought I would show some books that I did in the last couple of days. Now, I don't grade a ton of books in a day. I believe that you have to be accurate in your grading. And in order to do that, you can't grade, you know, 50, 60 books a day. You can, but your eyes are going to get tired. And as your eyes get tired, especially when you're looking at vintage comic books, looking for, you know, defects, damage, anything like that, you're going to start kind of brushing over things, and you're not going to give yourself an accurate grade. And I pride myself on accurate grading. Anybody who knows me knows I pride myself on accurate grading. So I try to keep my grading to 5 to 10 books a day, because that will give you accurate grades and let you give a full check of the book. You just don't want to grade a book in, you know, a couple of minutes. You want to thumb through the book, make sure all the pages are there. You know, is there any defects in the book, which you can find color touch-ups on a vintage book, or on pretty much any book, with a black light flashlight. It'll just pop. You'll just see it glow. And so if you don't have a black light flashlight, go pick one up. You can get them for $2.99, $3.99 at Walmart. And like I said, we talked in the past about your grading kit, things you need in your grading kit, which would be cotton gloves, you know, just like regular cotton gloves you can buy. I have tons of these things to have a good, accurate, you know, kit. You know, the price guides, the Overstreet grading, you know, grading guide that they have, just really, really cool stuff like that. So, you know, I can do more into what I have in grading. Some of you like those videos. Let me know if you want me to do a grading video and kind of maybe grade a book, start to finish, show you what my process is, give you the grade, show the book, and do that. So if you would be interested in seeing something like that on a future video, or even just an additional video, leave me a comment down below and say you would like to see it, because if you do, I'll be more than happy to do that, because everybody wants to learn techniques. I watch a lot of people's grading videos, but I have my own technique to do that. So one of the things that people like, let's look at some vintage books, shall we? First one up, we have X-Men number 30. This is from 1967. It is a Kirby cover. Sorry about the light source. I'm trying, you know, something new here in the office that my wife is working on. So here is this here from 1967. I graded this a 5.0. And again, people say, oh, those books look a lot better. Mylar always makes books look great, but if you put a grade on there, you don't need to do detailed entries on there. The grade is relation to what the defects you find on that book. That's how I do it. So if I sell a book to somebody that's a 5.0, it's going to be a 5.0 in my mind. Usually, though, it's a much higher grade, usually in the 6 to 6.5 range, because I am such a difficult grader as it relates to vintage books. Next up, this is Supernatural Thrillers number 5. This is the first appearance of the Living Mummy. This is from 1973. This is a Romita cover. That's a classic cover right there. I graded this a 5.0. Right there's got some, you know, a little bit of spine damage right there, but all these books, they have one thing in common. They present very, very well. Great color, just really nice presentation. You can put these up in a shop somewhere and people are going to say, look at that beautiful book. And that sells everything. Next up, The Unexpected, number 135 from 1972. I graded this an 8.0. And this is a 52-page big one, but you can see how nice that book looks right there. 8.0. Just really nice cover right there, too. You know that kid's going to get snatched up and found in some hot pot somewhere, so there is that there. Next up, from 1968, this is Green Lantern number 61. This is Gil Kane cover and art. And this is a Golden Age Green Lantern appearance right here. You see the old Golden Age right there. Really, really nice book. Again, I graded this a 6.5, fine plus. Next up, Strange Tales number 149 from 1966. Of course, Kirby cover. You can spot his style anywhere. And again, another really, really nice book. Just presents really, really well. Just really clean, really nice. Again, 7.5 from 1966. And again, when you put the books in this type of Mylar, you can use regular Silver Age Mylar or Golden Age Mylar. Silver Age basically is what a lot of people like to use, but the book is real tight on the side with that. I do it this way, a little bit more cost factor by using the halfback and 2 Golden Age boards to give you 3 boards total, but I think the presentation on that is really, really nice. And it looks uniformed when you have them in a box. Tales of Suspense, number 88 from 1967. This is a Mole Man appearance. This is a 7.0, I graded it. There's that there. And again, people sometimes see a couple of little spine knocks on it, on books, and they'll be like, oh, you know, that can't be that grade. It can be that grade because that's a defect. I mean, as long as you, again, you're allowed a certain amount of defects in each grade, which the Overstreet price guide, not price guide, excuse me, the grading guide will show you. You can have defects, okay? If it's a perfect book, it's a 10, which you don't see. But if you want to see some of these books, look at Keys at CGC grades. Look at the grades and tell me all the damage on there if you would grade it that grade that they give it, because I'm telling you, you wouldn't. Next up, from 1965, this is Fantastic Four number 41. This is a Frightful Four appearance, and Kirby cover and art inside. Really nice. And again, a little grease pencil right there that's on there. I don't like books like that for the most part, but that is an acceptable, you know, it's not really considered a defect because that was something that was done in the 60s. When shops would get it, they put a little mark on there. So there was that. Really nice book. From 1968, a 5.5, fine minus. This is X-Men number 49. This is the first Lorna Dane and the first Ms. Marrow, as well as the Origin of the Beast. Really hard book to find because of all the white on the back on the cover and the eyes right here. It gets dirty really, really easy. But this is a real hot book right now, and this is also a Steranko cover, so this has a lot going for it. A couple of first appearances, Steranko cover. What more do you want? X-Men 37 from 1967, first appearance of the Mutant Master. Right there, I graded this a 7.5, fine minus. Again, like all these books I've talked about, these are presenting very, very well. Great color, it pops. Again, the Mylar just adds to the, you know, the oomph on these books, so there's that there. Detective Comics number 415 from 1971, of course, classic Neil Adams cover. I graded this a fine. This is the Batman hanging cover right here. So there's, right, that's a nice book right there. I love Neil Adams. I love these 70s books. To me, the 70s is the golden age of comics because we had so many great artists at that time. Wrights and Kirby, Ditko, Steranko, you know, Neil Adams. The list just goes on and on. Nick Cardy, who you can't forget. So there's that there. We got 2 more books to show. Fantastic Four number 76 from 1968. Kirby, cover and art, 7.5. Another beautiful book right there. When the day comes that I can open something, people are going to be lining up to get to these books. I guarantee you that. And then the last book we'll show from 1967. It's also the lowest graded book we're going to show, 4.0, Romita cover and art. This is also the second appearance of the Lizard. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 44, 4.0. The biggest issues with this book right here is, you know, this part of the book here. Otherwise, beautiful color on this. No fading. The color really pops. But I gave it a 4.0. Some places would probably give it a 5, 5.5. But again, be honest with your books and your grading. So there is that. That's what we have for books today. Again, if you're interested in seeing me do a grading video where I grade a book, just let me know and I'd be more than happy to do that. But again, all that is My Light 2's Golden Age, Silver Age, size, and then one halfback board and 2 Golden Age boards. It gives it real good sturdiness right there. Doesn't bend real easy. Protects your book. Looks really nice. It's uniform when you lay them in the boxes. But again, there's cost factors involved because halfbacks are a little bit more expensive than the My Lights. But Golden Age you can get, I think it's like $5.99 for a pack of 50. So again, there is a cost factor, but you want to protect your investment. And then in order to, if you do this, you have to use the magazine size boxes for storage on that to store them comfortably, because you don't want to, squeeze the books in a box. So there is that. So that's pretty much all we have today. Again, I appreciate all the support. You guys are great in this community. I love the comments. I love the fact that, I get positive comments. You're always going to find people that give you negative comments. That's just the nature of the beast. I don't care too much about that. The opinions on this channel are my own opinions, and I appreciate people who agree with it, and I appreciate people who don't agree with it. The one thing we've talked about all along is that the thing about this community is that everybody has the right to have their opinion, and they shouldn't be bashed for it if it doesn't agree with your line of thinking. Again, there's things that I don't agree with in the business and in the community right now as it relates to speculation and buyers like that. But you know what? That is their right to do it. Doesn't mean I have to like it, but it is their right to do that. So that's what we have. Again, comment down below if you're a subscriber. Thank you. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. Video thumbs up if you liked it. So I hope you liked the video. But as always, if you didn't, nothing I can do for you. Have a great, great day. Happy hunting, and I will see you hopefully in a couple of days with a grading video.